Good morning, thriving warriors, and those who wish they were. Alexa, what is the date and time?
The time is 6:11 a.m.
And Alexa, what is the date? Alexa, what is today's date?
It's Friday, June 10th.
Aha, there we go. Friday, June 10th. Had to get a rag to clean up some spilled coffee. Okay, here we are. And there is no hen today. The owner, the in quotes owner, I don't think you can own a wild animal, but the owner of the chicken came and got it yesterday. We know this because we saw it on the video cameras of him stumbling around trying to catch the chicken. A little bit funny, but also sad because the life of the chicken is now much worse than it had been. It had freedom to pursue a life of adventure, and now it's stuck in a cage because they know it will, once having a taste of freedom, it will thus seek freedom in the future. So we move on. Today is Friday. We again invite people who want to help with the garage sale to come up for the weekend, maybe tonight. I will be down in Vegas this afternoon. I can bring anybody up, stay the night, go back on Sunday morning, as I will be at Mark Rowland's going away back to Oz party. And that's OZ, back to Oz party, in which we will be presenting him with this book, Positive Psychology, which is a collection of all of the things Mark has written in the magazine for the last 2 years. I'm very proud of this. This will now be available. It's not available on Amazon, and it will be available through the rest of the world and for people in prison. So, yet another publication produced by us here and distributed. So Jeannie, Charlene, if you are so disposed to be able to come up tonight, I'll gladly drive you and bring you back Sunday morning if you do not have work, and then anyone else that wants to come up to help prepare for the garage sale, and you will get a percentage of the profits. So far, people participating in profits from the garage sale are Jeff, Greg, Bo for the very first day when we got some stuff, Charlene, me. I think that's it. Maybe Anna from the house, maybe Marissa, if she is still involved. But because she did help one day last week, her very first day, last Thursday. Jeannie also helped. Congratulations. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you again for the coffee, Jeannie and Carl. Okay, we're at 4:01 into it. EPW, Employment Planning Workshop, day 4. What was day 1? Charlene, day 1, what was it? I know you're watching. I know you will be watching. You're actually probably at work right now, but I know you'll be watching this. Day 1. So I mean, step 1. Oops, awkward. Step 1, what do you want to do? Okay, and then the subset of that is why do you want to do it and who do you need to become? If you're not sure what you want to do, you could ask the question. Ask your brain the question. If I didn't have to worry about money, what would I want to spend my time doing? If you get too many answers to that, you could ask the question, okay, well, if I had to pay, if money wasn't a problem and I had to pay to do it, what would I pay to do? And if you still can't find something, ask yourself, well, what are my hobbies? Would I like to get paid doing my hobby? And a hobby is technically something that you pay to do. You like doing it so much you pay to do it. And it becomes part of your self-identity. It's who you are. So you can do that. And who do you need to become? You also have to have a good why do you want to be that? So a lot of people say, I want to own a restaurant. Why? Because I like to cook. Wrong answer. You don't own a restaurant because you like to cook. You own a restaurant because you want to be a business owner. And it just so happens that you know something and like something about food. Or you could include it's very practical. 100% of the population of the world has to eat every day, and most people eat multiple times during the day or throughout the day. So it's a good bet if you can produce a product that people are willing to pay for, that you can make a living in the food business. That would be a better answer. And as to who do you need to become a business person, business owner. And the first thing you need to know about that is money. You need to know accounting, stuff like that. Okay, back to business. Okay, step 2, who does that? Find 3 to 5 companies that do it. I suggest starting with Google Maps. Step 3, research them. You want to know more about the company than the person interviewing you, which is not really that hard in a large corporation. If it is a small corporation or business owner, you need to demonstrate to them that you really, really, really want to do the business. And that's the perfect segue into step 4, which is the plan. And the plan follows from week 3, basic training, week 3, how do you get people in the car? So it starts with really the Seth Godin formula, and including Simon Sinek, David Phillips, and David Logan. So we're going to do the Seth Godin formula of find part of the status quo to change. So the plan is about changing the status quo. The status quo is you don't work there. You want to work there, or you want them to want to offer you a position there. So the goal is to change the status quo. The purpose of the plan is to change the status quo. Step 2, tell a compelling story. What's step 3? Anna, step 3. Seth Godin, step 3. Jeff, step 3. Connect the true believers and ignore the non-true believers. Okay, so you want to get the person that is interviewing you to bond with you. You want to apply the elegant equation. Bond, add value, and ask. You want them to like you. You want them to believe you. So you don't start any relationship out on a lie. You're not deceitful. And you can usually overcome problems by saying, yeah, I went to prison. Boy, was I dumb back then. Move on. Don't dwell on, well, I wasn't really guilty, or here's what happened. They don't care about that. They care about, do they like you? Do they trust you? Do they believe you? Do they see you fitting into the company? And if you're the kind of person that has an excuse, you're always the victim, you don't really stand a chance against somebody who's not a victim. Should we hire somebody who sees themselves as a victim, their self-identity as a victim, or somebody who's self-confident and knows what they want and goes and gets what they want? Yeah, okay, pretty obvious. Okay, so the purpose of the plan is to change the status quo. Now we shift over to to Simon Sinek. How do you tell a compelling story? So that's what the interview is. It's the compelling story. The plan is the compelling story of why, now Simon Sinek, why we need to change the status quo. And why they should hire you is because this is a business you are going to be in. You're not just looking for a job. This is a career, and you are going to do it. And it's either with them or one of their 2 biggest competitors, but you're going to do it. And you have to have a story of why. And it might start with, if it was me, I loved the vending business when I was a kid. I would go, if I was interviewing, I would say, I love the vending business, and I am going to be in the vending business as my career. I remember the first time I ever played a pinball machine. It was at Lake Berryessa. I was about 11 or 12 years old, maybe 10. And there was the baseball pinball machine where it had the bat. It didn't have flippers, it had a bat, and you'd hit it, and it was just incredible. You pull the plunger back, this big heavy ball rolls out there, bounces around. And I thought, God, this is a great business. And then I noticed that you had to pay cash to do it. And it was like, wow, this is the greatest business. People love doing this. And you come back whenever you want, and there's money in there. Wow. What a big surprise. So when I was 27, I was president of a publicly traded vending machine company that had 5,000 video games, jukeboxes, and pool tables, because I love the business. I love that vending machine business, street vending. And so you need to have a story like that of why you want to work there. That means that's why you had to research the company to know them better than the other people, because it needs to fit in with your story of why, and they need to believe you. That's the most important thing. They need to believe you. And they should believe you, because you should be choosing an industry that you actually want to have as your career. So what we're doing here is we're creating a plan of why they should hire you. And then the manifestation of the plan is 3 parts. The resume, think of that as the Willy Wonka golden ticket to get to the interview. The cover letter that goes with that resume, which is just a very brief general, get them kind of like, this is an interesting person. And then the actual interview to get set up for the interview. That's the purpose of the plan. And your goal is to set appointments in the same week with 3 of those companies. Not hard to do. You want to, and again, going back to step 2, who does that? You want to find good companies, and good companies are always looking to hire good people. Part of the plan should be what the Bedouins call the camel getting its nose under the tent strategy. If you want to be in the marketing department at the Sands, at the Venetian, a very good, viable strategy is, I'm just going to get a job at the Venetian, and once I'm at the Venetian, then I'm going to work my way over to marketing or whatever. So if I have to start as somebody picking up cigarette butts outside, hey, at least I work at the Venetian, and they have a policy that when departments are hiring, they look from internal within. So I want to get a job. If I'm, want to do this, the Venetian is a great path to get me to that, or I just want to work at the Venetian because I've always loved it. It's the great thing. I grew up in Vegas, and it was just my ambition in life was I wanted to work at the Venetian. I don't care what it is, because it's the greatest employer in Las Vegas. So you notice the emotional language and the energy I'm trying to give off. And we're at 13, 18. But the purpose, once again, the purpose of the plan is to change the status quo. And you're going to only change the status quo by telling a compelling story. The compelling story is manifested, it becomes apparent in 3 ways. First, it's your resume and cover letter. We have templates for these that you should follow. And again, on your resume, do not lie. Do not exaggerate. Your cover letter could include a little bit, we have samples of that too, but it could include a little bit of why you want to work there. Why you want to be in the industry. Why you want to change the status quo. And then the interview, and we'll talk more about that in step 5, which is executing the plan. But for now, the goal under the plan is to do the things I just mentioned. How do you do it? Okay, so how do you create the plan? Well, you have your 3 to 5 employers, you've done the research. Part of your research would have been to go to their website, go to the About Us section, create a Google document for each employer, copy and paste how they describe themselves in that document. Highlight keywords that you can use to describe yourself. So let's say you wanted to be in the restaurant business, and let's say you chose fast food. That the career you wanted is you wanted to open your own fast food restaurant chain, focusing on vegan, non-animal. Yeah, but you wanted to learn from the best. So you could say, let's apply at hamburger place McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys. You go to their website, you look at the About Us or the history section. You want to get an idea of who they think they are and who they want you to believe they are. Get that, copy and paste it. You have 3 documents, your McDonald's, your Burger King, and your Five Guys. And you copy that section and you go through each one, you highlight them, and you sit back and you think, how are these people, how do they see themselves differently from one another? It'll become really apparent to you. And even though they are 3 companies in the fast food hamburger business, when you look at their stories, you're going to see that they think of themselves as very different. And there's going to be words in them that you can use for the resume to the McDonald's, the resume to the Burger King, the resume to the Five Guys people. Yeah, guess what? 3 different resumes. Wow. That's why we said yesterday, you need to be willing to spend at least 10 hours preparing for this. It's a 2,000-hour a year job. It's supposed to be for a career. How much time are you going to invest in doing it? So you tailor your resume to the employer. So McDonald's is about nutrition. Burger King, have it your way. Five Guys, superior quality. So you might decide you describe yourself in your McDonald's one as, if it's true, I believe in nutrition, I believe in healthy food, I believe in eating right, and et cetera, et cetera. For Burger King, flame broiled also. I love to barbecue. Some of my hobbies, I love to barbecue, if it's true. I love to barbecue. I like having my food the way I want my food. I'll take a little extra time to do it right. Five Guys could be, I'm really conscious about quality, preparation, and customer experience, or the experience people have being around me. I'm really concerned and conscious about that. So you end up with a resume that is tailored to them. So they see, yeah, this person's one of us. Bonding. And the adding value part is you're telling them about you and why you would be a good employee. That at 1735 is the plan. That's what the plan is all about, is to come out with tangible stuff describing why we need to change the status quo by hiring you. And then from there, tomorrow would be executing the plan. What do we do to execute the plan? Talk about that tomorrow. And then step 6 is get a job until you have the plan. That'll be on Sunday. So with that, I will say cut, cut,